Grab your fam and grab some shaving cream because it's time for family art making. What's up, Ringling fam? It's Kallie, and this week we're continuing our deep dive into Sam Gilliam's abstract art and continuing our theme of Painting Plus. When I first strolled around the new exhibition at the museum, I immediately fell in love with all the colors that Gilliam used. Think of the two works that you've seen so far. They are just full of swirling colors. Alongside the beautiful rainbows of paint, he also uses a lot of interesting materials that you might not recognize at first glance. Let's take a look at this one first. It's called Green Wave. For this work, he painted on birch plywood, and it's easier to see in person, but there are some extra parts attached. He used metal picture frames and piano hinges to pull all these parts together. When was the last time you made art using piano hinges? For me, let me think about it. Never. The right side that's on hinges can even be moved, so the work can change form by adjusting the panel. Just like the first drape paintings we saw, these artworks might look different every time you see them in a different exhibition. But also look at how the colors swirl into each other, making the parts connect to look like one big painting. I just love it. It's almost like a painting within a painting because it flows together so well. Flows like water. Is that why it's called Green Wave? I'm not sure, but the colors and innovative, which means new or experimental, materials are a true staple of Gilliam's work. As soon as I saw this work, I knew what we were going to be making for FAM. We won't be using wood or piano hinges, but we will be recreating the beautiful flow of colors that he made. And we'll be using innovative materials too. We'll be using shaving cream. I know what you're thinking. How do you make art using shaving cream? That doesn't make any sense, but we can. We'll be using shaving cream and watercolor paints to make some beautiful abstract art. For this project, you will need some paper. Some thicker paper might work better, so if you have any cardstock, give that a try. You'll also need shaving cream, watercolor paints, or food coloring will work as well. If you got an art kit, your liquid watercolor paints are in those tiny paint pots. And be careful when you open those, okay? They might splatter everywhere. You'll also need some form of straight edge. So a ruler, you could use a craft stick, maybe even a fork. You'll see when I start the tutorial. And finally, this project can get a little messy, so you're gonna wanna grab a towel, paper towels, something so you can clean up as you go. It's almost like a form of printmaking to do this project, which, if you want to try some printmaking, check out the fan videos from February. But what you do is put a thin layer of shaving cream on a shallow container. I'm using this little tin pan, but you can probably use a plate or even a shallow box. Then spread that out across the bottom. You don't need a thick layer, like I said. I probably even used a little too much. Then grab your liquid watercolor or food coloring and squirt it or pour it on top of the shaving cream. If you got an art kit, you got a little pipette that you can use to suck up the paint and then drop onto the shaving cream. Now, if you want your colors to be more swirly to start off with, you can grab a toothpick or use that pipette or use your finger and swirl the paint around in the shaving cream. But I wanted to show you a more splotchy one first. So you'll place your paper right on top of the shaving cream, press it down a little bit, just a little bit, don't cover the backside in shaving cream, and pull it off. Then you'll lay that flat on your table and grab the ruler or the craft stick or whatever you have with a straight edge and scrape away the shaving cream. You don't have to use much pressure to do this, and ta-da! It's beautiful. The next one I did is a little more Gilliam-esque as the colors have swirled together some more. So you can try making designs in the shaving cream, use certain colors, and you can even use paper with something drawn or printed on it already, and it will show through the colors. That's how I did the intro. And you can do this over and over and over again. If the colors start to get muddy or just starts to turn brown, just put another thin layer of that shaving cream on top and restart. These also make really beautiful cards, bookmarks, anything like that. Here I made a little bookmark for Roar, our storytime program. And these also dry pretty quickly too. And like I said, don't forget to grab a rag or paper towel to clean up the mess in between. And if you get watercolor paint stains on your hands or clothes, don't worry, it washes right out. The first time I did this, I wore a white shirt and it was covered in paint, but it came right out. And here are all of my finished pieces. If you want to make yours even more like the green wave artwork we saw, you could collage them together. Maybe glue them onto a large poster board, or punch holes out and string them together, tape them together, use piano hinges? No, maybe not piano hinges, but paper clips or something fun like that, and create a giant collage of all your works if you want to, like a painting within a painting, just like Sam Gilliam. But here is one of my finished works. I really love this one. I think it turned out just beautiful, especially with the print with the Ringling logo peeking through. But I would love to see yours because every single person's will look completely different. So please send us a picture to the Ringling Facebook page, the Family Programs Facebook page, or send us an email at education@ringling.org. I know the rest of the Ringling fam would love to see your artwork, so if you do send us an email, let us know that it's okay to share it on the Facebook page. And just so you know, you want to save all the artwork you're making for fam, we'll be doing another community gallery in the fall, and that means that you and the rest of the Ringling fam can turn in your artwork to the museum and it will go on display in the exhibition. You'll be an artist, just like Sam Gilliam on display of the Ringling walls. We haven't announced the theme yet, but that's okay. Just hang on to all your artwork and put it in a safe, dry place so that it can be on display later this year. I hope you enjoyed this week's project. I had so much fun, but we will be back in June with more art kits and even more fam. It's going to be bigger and better than ever, so I hope that you will join us next week and then again in June. But that's all I have for this week. I'll see you next time at the same time and in the same place. Bye! If you'd like to see Sam Gilliam's artwork, come by the museum on a Monday and see the exhibition Sam Gilliam Selections for free.